So then, let's see here. The next set of fights that are coming up is UFC on ESPN, Santos versus Hill. So this is Thiago Santos versus Jamal Hill. I always want to say Jamahal, but the broadcast team calls him Jamal, so I got to call him Jamal because they have more information than me, right? Woo, excuse me. But, I mean, I don't know how to choose this one, man. Thiago Santos is like a super talented guy, super powerful, has gone out and like given John Jones everything that he can handle in 5-round championship fights, right? Like that's the level of experience that's being brought into this fight against Jamal Hill. Now, Jamal Hill has shown that he is super strong, super fast, super technical, and capable, right? I love Jamal Hill's boxing. He's got some really crispy punches that come right down the middle. Everything's tight, not really wasting any effort. And he beats guys with a punch because he throws tight technical punches. He's not throwing big, weird looping stuff. He's like right down the pipe, gonna hit you right in the mouth. So, I'm gonna pick Jamal Hill. That's what my heart tells me, is to pick Jamal Hill, right? Thiago Santos has like had major knee surgeries on both his knees, getting a little older. Jamal Hill is a beast on the come up with, what looks like tighter boxing to me. I know Thiago Santos is a black belt in Muay Thai out of Brazil, but it always seems like he's kind of throwing bigger, loopier punches, man. And it just seems like if they're standing there in space, kickboxing back and forth, I think Jamal Hill's gonna have the advantage there, just being younger, more aggressive, and throwing tighter punches. The next fight on the ESPN UFC card, Santos versus Hill, is Vicente Lucay versus Joff Neal. And this is a fun fight. It's welterweight. I mean, Vicente Lucay is a savage. I mean, he's landed incredible numbers of strikes on guys in fights. He's also absorbed incredible numbers of strikes in fights. But he's a really, really entertaining fighter. And I think it's a really great fight for Jeff Neal. I'm a big Jeff Neal fan. Trains out of Texas. I'm obliged to like pull for Texas boys. So at this point, I think that Jeff Neal probably punches harder. That's probably the honest truth of the matter. Vicente Lucay probably has the more technical ability. It isn't a main event. It isn't for a strap, so it's going to be 3 rounds. Which I know Vicente Lucay has main event 5-round experience. I got to pick Jeff Neal. I can't be picking against Texas. It's literally that simple. Let's look at what these guys have been doing here as of recent, so we can look at their little resumes. So Vicente Lucay is number 6 right now, which is impressive. He had won 4 in a row and then lost 1 against Belal Muhammad. I remember that fight against Belal Muhammad. It was a snooze fest. But he's got a couple of like really, really, 4 straight stoppages before that. Choked out Michael Chiesa, choked out Tyron Woodley, knocked out Randy Brown, TKO'd Nico Price, lost to Stephen Thompson in a decision, and then won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row before that. So he's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 2 in his last 12 fights. So that's a really, really like good record, man. Like that's he's gonna be a tough one to beat. And Jeff Neal is number 13 in the rankings. So yeah, man. I'm picking Jeff Neal, but if Vicente Lucay was able to get it done, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Very much like the Derek Lewis Sergey Pavlovich pick that I made the other night. It's I'm obliged to pick Texas. I don't think that it's such a big discrepancy that it's clearly one way or the other, and so if it's something like that, I'm going to side with Texas. Fuck with me. Gang, gang. Swing and bang. What I'm talking about. Let's see what else is happening on this card. Muhammad Usman and Zach Pagua. So Muhammad Usman is the brother of the welterweight champion Kamaru Usman. Fights at heavyweight. This, I believe, is a like culmination of the Ultimate Fighter. Yeah, his last two fights, Muhammad's last two fights were both on the Ultimate Fighter, where he got a unanimous decision followed by a split decision. So that's, we'll see. And then Zach, his last two fights were also on the Ultimate Fighter. Got a unanimous decision and a KO, TKO 30 seconds into the second round. So that's fun. If I'm picking, I don't know who I'm picking. I ain't really seen either of the guys fight. Next, you got Brogan, Walker, and Julianna Miller, women's flyweight. They don't even have pictures of these girls, but I know that they're what am I trying to say? Ultimate Fighter girls. So we'll see how that goes. Augusto Sakai versus Sergey Spivak. This ought to be a real fun fight. I mean, Augusto doesn't have boring fights. Augusto Sakai has exclusively fun fights. He might not be the most technical guy, but he definitely is like willing to go in there and put himself in the fire for the sake of landing his own shots, and it makes for entertaining fights. Sergey Spivak, he's a fun fighter as well. I believe he goes by what does he go by? Like the Polar Bear or whatever. His last fight he taxed Greg Hardy. But before that he lost to Tom Aspinall, and I believe he actually took the Tom Aspinall fight on short notice. But then before that he beat Alexei Oleinik in a unanimous decision, which that's impressive, man. To be able to go a full 15 minutes with Alexei Oleinik and not get strangled is like, wow, go you. He also TKO'd Jared Vendera, and he got a majority decision over Carlos Felipe. Then he lost to Marcin Tybura. He actually beat Tai Tuivasa. He arm triangle choked him back in October 5th of 2019. He lost to Walt Harris in his UFC debut, and then he was pretty much undefeated in all of his other organizations before he got into the UFC. So he's 5-3 in the UFC. So it's a pretty salty record, but I mean, got some real good wins. His only losses are to like real good dudes. Like this is Walt Harris, back I think before all the personal stuff happened to him, and he wasn't so distracted. Which, man, Walt Harris had such a tough deal, man. If you're unfamiliar, his stepdaughter got kidnapped and killed, man, and it really fucked a bunch of shit up for him in his life, as you can imagine, right? So, man, I hate that. But at any rate, his only losses are to like good guys, right? I love that he fucking beat Greg Hardy's ass. So I mean, damn, it's gonna be a good fight, man. I don't know who's gonna win. If I had to pick it, I'd probably pick Augusto Sakai, right? Augusto Sakai is like a really aggressive guy. Oh fucking hey, I don't know, man. I mean, he's got 3 losses in a row, but it's to like top dudes. When we're talking Alistair Overeem, Jairzinho Rosenstruck, Tai Tuivasa, which he took an L to Tai, where Sergey beat him, right? But Sergey fought Tai years ago, back before Tai really kind of hit his stride and really doubled down on his training and stuff. So it's going to be a little different. Let me see. Sakai beat Marcin Tybura, whereas Marcin Tybura beat the Polar Bear. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Augusto Sakai on this one if I like have to pick it. And that's as far as I'm going to go on that one. Let's get flipped over to our next set of fights here.
Monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth.